Traders in the building, what is good? You already know what time it is, man. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, guys, I'll be analyzing for you the dollar index, gold, US30, US 100, AUD, and USDCAD. So if you appreciate this kind of content, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel and also like this video if you found it valuable to you. Right? So in front of us we have the dollar index, and I am currently bearish on this market. And the reason for this is because, as you can see, we just broke below a very strong area of support. This was a trend line from 2011, as you can tell, and then the market created that trend line over there, support again over here, and now the market is broken below. Not only that, we've also broken below another very strong area of support slash resistance. This is a very significant zone, as you can tell. In the past, it acted as an area of resistance, and then when price was above, it did again act as a support for many times, for like 3-4 years, I believe. So this is a very strong area of support for me. So now we are below that structure, and this is the reason why I believe that this market from here, it has room, or rather potential, to continue selling at least maybe to this support over here. Until then, I'm bearish on this market. Now, how you can trade this market is you need to go to a smaller time frame. For this one, we'll just go straight to the daily time frame, and what you do over there is you want to identify areas of interest where you could potentially sell from. So last week I did mention that this was a very interesting area to watch. As you can see, because it was an area of support for some time, then the market broke below. My expectation was that the market was going to retrace and then continue selling. However, as you can see now, the market has again pushed higher, closing above the structure over here. So now what I think could happen on this particular time frame is maybe the market is just coming back for a minor retracement to this particular trend line over there, which we drew on the monthly time frame, and also to retest this last lower low before then we can see that impulse to the downside. This is a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's something that I'll be watching in case it does happen. That's all I have on this instrument. Moving on to gold. On gold, I'm bullish on this market. If you go to the monthly time frame, let's go to the monthly time frame so you can see the overall picture. As you can see, this market has been going up, say, from since it broke out early 2024, January, I think it was, if not February. Then the market just kept on going up. We haven't really received a retracement, which I was expecting for some time. But as you can tell, it doesn't seem like the market is going to come back. Maybe we just have to accept it as it is and just keep on buying this market. Now, the way you can trade this market on a smaller time frame is just go maybe to the daily time frame. And over there, you want to identify areas of interest where you could potentially buy and or sell from. So as I can observe here, I can see that, okay, we do have a very strong area of resistance slash now turned into a support. As you can see, the market created this higher high, then higher low, then this was a higher high, then this was a higher low, and this now is a newly formed higher high. So maybe the market now is coming back to retrace this as a new higher low for us to then expect, or rather see, the market pushing all the way up. This is a possibility given the fact that if you go to a smaller time frame on the 1 hour, it does seem like the market is preparing to come down for sales. To me, at least, that's what it seems like it's trying to happen, because I think it was yesterday when I noticed that it seems like the market has created what we could call an head and shoulder pattern. Some will agree, some won't, but it all just depends on how you trade. So for me, this looks like a left head, left shoulder, and then this looks like a head, and of course, again, this looks like a right shoulder. For next week, I do expect to see the market to retrace all the way back to this area of resistance over here, as it couldn't create a new lower low, rather found support around this area over here. So I do expect the market to push back to that resistance. Should it get here, of course, I look for sales. And when the market hopefully breaks below this area of support over here, it will be a good area to expect a retracement to then take those short-term sells. Remember, it's just short-term sells to this support, and from there, it's long-term. But pretty much that is all I see on this market. Moving on to US30. US30, I am definitely bullish on this market. Let's go to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, you can clearly see that this market is indeed in a bullish trend. We are even trending inside a channel. As you can see, like this over there, the market respects this low very much. So now we did come again, tested that structure over there. Not only that, we also supported from this area of resistance, and now the market seems to be going up, right? So now it's not really clear at the moment if the market is just going to retrace this whole move with this one candlestick and maybe end up closing bullish, because the month hasn't yet ended. But to me, I don't think that's going to happen yet. I think maybe we might see the market buying impulsively, maybe starting the next month from this area of support over there. But the way you can trade this market in the meantime is you need to go to a smaller time frame for this one. Let's just go straight to the daily time frame. Over there, again, we want to identify areas of interest where we could potentially buy or sell from. From here, I can see that we did have a bearish trend. First touch over there, second touch, a third touch, and now the market is broken out. So of course, this is a sign that this market could be ready to buy. We do have a strong area of resistance. Let me rather go to the weekly time frame for better market view. If you go to the weekly time frame, you can see that this is a very strong area of resistance which the market respected in the past, and when the market was above, came back for retracement, and then we bought from there. So here I do think the market could stall a bit before we see that breakout, but should it not, should it just decide that it's going to break out, then of course it's going to be a good thing for us to then expect a retracement, and then hoping to break to push price higher, breaking those previous highs over there. Pretty much that is all I see on this market. Yeah, I don't think there's any other thing apart from that. There is another possibility that the market could instead respect this high and then start to sell back to this support. From this support, see market buying, because another possibility that the market could range. It depends on what the market condition is at the time. But for me at the moment, I do expect the market to break out to the upside. Moving on to US 100. US 100, I'm also bullish on this market, similar to what we saw on US 30. If you go to the monthly time frame over there, you can see that we did have an area, the market was pushing up. This is a higher high, higher low, then the market created a higher high, and this to me seems like a higher low. Of course, from here we can expect the market to continue pushing up. However, again, I don't think the market is going to do that with just one candlestick. As you can see over here, it really doesn't make so much sense to think or to expect something like that, but anything could happen. This is the market. So now the way you can trade this market is you need to go to a smaller time frame, and already there you can already see that the market is trying to push even further up. The way it traded last week, you can see that the market, we did have an area over here which was an area of support, support over here. The market broke, it then acted as an area of resistance. However, right now we can see that the market is closed above, so this could again mean that the market probably is ready to buy. So from here I'm exactly going to start to be looking at the how the market behaves around this area of significance over here. I do expect a retracement, even if I don't get it, but from here I do expect the market to probably push higher, hoping to break those highs over there, of course, to create new higher highs. And that is all I see on US 100. Moving on to AUDUSD, I'm bullish on this market, going to the higher time frame, the monthly time frame over there. You can tell that this market has been rather supporting from this area of support for a very long time. First touch over there, that was around 2009, as you can see over here. First touch, we got a second touch over here, third touch, a fourth touch, and now we did seem to have broken below. However, the market did not sustain itself below this area over here. As you can see, when it broke below, it couldn't sustain itself below this support, and now the market seems to have, not even seems, the market has now come back above, which obviously suggests that this market could not continue selling. So from here, I do expect the market to continue pushing up. I'm looking at this high as a potential target for this market. So now if you go to a smaller time frame like the daily time frame over there, what you want to do again is you want to identify areas of interest where you could potentially buy from. So at the moment, rather, let me go to the weekly time frame and point out something that I noticed. At the moment, we are also at an area of significance on this particular time frame. If you go to your left like this, you'll notice that we do have what seems to be an area of sensitivity over here. As you can see, this was a market where it reacted before, reacted again, and when the market was below, it reacted as we had expected, rejected that high. So now it seems like the market is failing again to break above that high, though it does not mean it's not going to break above. Based on how I trade, I do think that this market eventually will find enough momentum to break above. However, we cannot neglect the fact that at the moment it is struggling to do so. So it's very important for us to be very cautious of that. So for me, for the week that is coming, I will not be taking any trades on this market simply because of this, because there is a very high possibility that this market is going to be very choppy as it was last week, or rather this market is going to range a lot as it was last week, as you saw. So as you saw last week, the market couldn't, it just created this high, failed over there. So as you can see, the market is moving sideways, it's not going up or down. So my thing is, I'll wait for this market to at least break above this high, and should it break above that high, it would have confirmed that, of course, this area, this pink zone that we highlighted here has been broken, and now the market is ready to push up. That is all I see on this market. Moving on to USDCAD, and I'm closing with this one. I'm bearish on this market, at least for now. Let's go to the monthly time frame. I'm bearish on this market, at least for now, and I will explain why. So if you go to the monthly time frame, you can see that this market usually likes to move in a range. So this is something you will see a lot on this particular instrument, and this is something you need to be very much aware of, that this market likes to move in a range. It trends at times, but most of the time it really likes to range, as you can see over here, right? So now we have an area of support over here, this trend supporting trend line over here. You can tell first touch, second touch, a third touch, and a fourth touch, and this is another touch we have at the moment, which is a fifth touch. So because of this, there's a very high chance the market could not break below. Instead, it could just buy from there. So this is why I say I am bearish at the moment. So now the way you can trade this market is you need to go to a smaller time frame. The reason why I'm bearish is because the dollar index seems to me that it's going to keep on selling, and of course, you know, everything that has the dollar in it should, if the dollar index goes down, should go down with it, right? If the dollar is the base. So now if you go to the daily time frame over there, you will clearly see that this market last week tried to trade above this area of support. So looking at USDCAD, you can clearly see that this is a very strong area of sensitivity over here. As you can tell, the market rejected this area over here in the past couple of times. Then the market broke above, came back for retracement, and then pushed higher. So currently right now, the market has come back to that area. Not only that, come back also to this particular trend line over here. So this is why we could both see buys, or we could see the market breaking and selling. Now the only way to know is to be patient and allow the market to move to show you where it wants to go, because at the moment, as you can see, these are candlesticks of indecision that are forming in this particular area over here. So you have to be cautious as you approach this market. But for the next week, this is what I'll be looking at. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, I have already highlighted my areas of interest, which of course will then decide for me if this market is bullish or if this market is bearish. So I do expect, rather let me draw it like this. We do have a high here. So should the market next week trend and break that high, then it will mean for me the market is bullish. Should the market trend and break that high over here, then I'll start to look for buys to the upside. But should the market, as it is showing to be coming back to this area of support, should it end up breaking below, then from there I would then start to look for sells back to that lower support that we highlighted there on the weekly time frame. But nonetheless, this is all I see on this particular market. Also, another possibility could be the market could start to range in between this high and low over here. As you can see, the market has been ranging last week, so the market could just continue in this manner. Anything is possible, but for me at the moment, I will study how price moves around the support. If the market is failing, then I'll buy. If the market breaks this support, then I'll look for sells. And that's all I see on this market. If you appreciate this kind of content, guys, please do like this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so that next time when I drop, you get notified. With that being said, thank you guys for watching up to this far. If you are, I love you. I'll see you when I see you, and I am out.